say the phrase, "Nobody loves me." The text says a child enters the school, and when they leave, they have their head in their hands crying, saying the phrase, "Nobody loves me." So again, since we can tie that quote and the color of the quote to care, we can assume that it's care that's being talked about when it says they come into the school but then they leave crying, never to be the same. So something happened to Care in that school that made her the way she is, that made her NLM. The other details from this note, like rebirthing and eyebrows, will come in later. But for now, let's talk about Paul's connection to this game. It could be easy to assume that since Paul is our narrator and the one playing the game, that the series does that kind of thing a lot. I mean, you could kind of draw that, tire, road, those two things go together. And we saw the road earlier, the cars were driving by, and there's a mention of a dog getting hit by a car. But yeah, that's all the explanation you get about the floating tire of knowledge, so good in prior episodes. But for some reason, the house has now been painted black, but regardless, and as will be proven as we go on, this is the same house. Paul steps away from the house, and while the front door is in shadows, Paul is talking out loud about how he still confuses his right from his left, but as he's talking, we can hear a soft tune play. Sure enough, throughout the previous year, there were several of these green days, whatever that means, and in the following year, there doesn't seem to be any plan. While Paul is looking at the calendar, it becomes apparent that he's on a phone call. As Paul's describing the calendar, he pauses point. Next to Paul as he's walking through the school is a green version of Tool. And since we know Tool to change color depending on who's operating it, we can assume that a green tool means it's under Marvin's influence. The tool begins to move around the screen in the direction it wants Paul to follow. Eventually, or in other words, Marvin wants us to figure out the combination to this lock. We then suddenly snap back to Paul at the bathroom of the black house. This time, a note plays, but instead of pushing in on the TV, the camera pulls away from the TV. And we're suddenly given the perspective of Paul in the bathroom, this time with no block or ramp to the bathtub. And as you can imagine...
Okay, I think I will be doing folklore, so how does this go? Okay, how do you do this?
with a large Carolina logo across the cross seems pleasant. It's gently spinning around in circles, and the entire daycare seems like a safe space for children. As a matter of fact, the television screen in the room displays a logo that says Petscop Kids. And if Carolina can be assumed to be the production company or studio that Rainer used to make the game, then its logo and presence here can only be a good thing. Also, come to think of it, and I don't think I've heard anyone point this out, but Carolina, the last half of that word is Lena. I have no idea where the Gara comes from. Maybe it just sounds cool when all put together, but it seems
Okay. Oh no, is it? Wait, one minute. Is it time for that room? What the fuck do I do? Oh no, okay.
and then use some measure to determine distance in the game versus distance in real life, it will lead them to something. Maybe the staircase that goes beneath the Newmaker plane or whatever that is in the real world, or maybe an unmarked grave. Paul continues to talk about this family and says, they don't know much more. They intimidate me. They haven't called you, have they? Jill specifically. So there's another mention of Jill, again, Care's aunt, who Paul had an argument with on his birthday concerning the discovery pages. It seems that Jill is a part of this family that is urging Paul to record these videos, which makes sense as she is directly tied and a part of the family that all of this happened to. And again, it seems that somewhere Paul is as well, just doesn't know it yet. Paul says, I'm talking to you in the first few videos, which is why Jill wanted to know who he was talking to. He then says, I don't think she cares. You aren't family anyway, so you wouldn't have a room, in a reference to the rooms in the child library. Paul tells the person he's talking to not to be offended by this, that if you got in with this family, you wouldn't be able to escape. The family's intentions aren't exactly clear. We know that they're censoring stuff and uploading these YouTube videos and really want Paul to play the game. And Paul is afraid of Jill and isn't able to escape them. Now, are their wants virtuous? Do they need to figure out what's in this game and, ends justify the means if they force Paul to play it? Perhaps, but either way, the family seems to be something that Paul can't get away from. Paul remarks, I need you to help me with this. I need your puzzle genius.
Okay. It's this now.
All on my chest, don't leave a crumb, got the bread in your toast. If you start touching my gun, got no host. I put a coat on the top of my coat. Only 20 minutes before the show. I'm at that girl right up at my show. Afro man in the crowd on the floor. Out of town, never saw her before. Told her, baby, we don't got that long. Listen. We break up, we kiss, we make up. You really wanna stay, no. You really wanna go. Hot, then you're cold. You're yes, then you're no. You're in, then you're out. You're up, then you're down.
Okay. Nice. That didn't take long at all. This is my second time clearing this room because my mic wasn't recording the first time. This map is really good. This map is really good, but it was so hard for me. Way too hard than it should have been because I'm super precision carried. Yeah, that was really easy to repeat. Okay. Yeah. Really good map. Really good map. I love this map.